We've got a brief update for you on the Sony ZV-1 successor. It's going to have a wider lens, but the price, well, this time around, it's going to be closer to $1,000. Stick around after this short break for all the details. But first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help this channel grow. And thanks to everybody for your support. Sony Alpha Rumors has a brief update on the anticipated update to the ZV-1. The ZV-1 Mark II will have a wider lens at 18 to 70 millimeters, an upgrade over 24 to 70, but the price will be closer to $1,000. I'm really happy that Sony's been, well, listening to their customers as well as their critics, giving us a slightly wider lens at 18 to 70 millimeters instead of 24 to 70. But that price, closer to $1,000. Now, closer to $1,000 in marketing speak usually means $1999, $1998, $1996.88 or something like that. $999. Currently, the ZV-1, the Mark I, the original, is selling for $748, and quite often you can see it for $748 with a couple accessories, like here with an SD card and a camera bag. And if we're a little bit honest here, because I think honesty is always important, the launch price of the ZV-1 a couple of years ago was $799. So it's currently $50 off that launch price, but a price closer to $1,000? Well, that would be $200 over where it currently is today. Now, closer to $1,000 could also mean $899, but yeah, closer to $1,000 to me, like you're thinking, it's probably more around $999. It's definitely not going to go over. Well, not unless you have to pay taxes and shipping on top of that. And a lot of places offer free shipping, but there aren't too many jurisdictions that offer, well, free taxes. Well, not free taxes, that don't have taxes. There are a few of them, such as I believe Nevada doesn't charge taxes. I believe that New Hampshire doesn't charge taxes. There are a few jurisdictions. And of course, other places in the world, taxes are baked into the price, but closer to $1,000. Not $899, not $799, $850, $950, $949.99 to me would be closer to $1,000. So I think anywhere from around, based on what Sony Alpha Rumors is telling us, again, they've got some leaked information. Andre's done a really good job of gathering information here. So I think based on what he's telling us, we're looking at a price of between $949 and $999. So definitely a bit of a price jump, but it depends on what type of capabilities they put in this camera. Sony Alpha Rumors also said that it's going to have, and I quote, a plethora of AI capabilities. A plethora, well, that means we're going to get a lot of, well, the update on this camera is going to focus on the different AI capabilities, and I wonder for a moment, I know what you're thinking, that AI chip that came out, that debuted last October, late October, in the Sony A7R5, that AI chip, is it going to be in this camera too? Sony seems to be putting that in a lot of their cameras, all the new cameras that have come out since the A7R5. So if we have that AI chip and we have a plethora of AI capabilities, they seem to match up quite well. It just depends on how good they're going to be. I've heard from some critics that say, well, the AI chip, it really is more of a gimmick, it doesn't do much. But others are saying that it does really, really well. And I'm really curious to know if you own any of the new cameras with the AI chip, what do you notice in terms of accuracy, in terms of any new capabilities? I can't imagine that Sony's gone to the effort of developing a chip and putting it in a camera that costs money. And even if they're only 10 cents or 25 cents per, when you produce millions of cameras, that's a huge cost, let alone all the design costs. So I think that the calls that, or the comments that saying that this AI chip isn't worth its salt, I somehow doubt that. We've seen this from Canon. Well, they didn't use a chip, they're doing it in firmware or software. The 1DX Mark III, the R5, the R6, they have AI capabilities within their autofocus system as well. They just don't have a dedicated AI chip. So yeah, I don't really buy it that it's not doing any work. Artificial intelligence, or AI learning, deep learning, they do work. We've seen this time and time again, and we even see this with ChatGPT and some of those OpenAI, as scary as they can be sometimes. We're getting human-like responses and natural responses. And yes, sometimes the information isn't all that accurate. We are seeing human-like responses, the ability to not think like a machine. And I think that's what we're going to start to see with these cameras, as they start to include more AI capabilities, we're going to start to see more natural thought. So for example, if I'm tracking a whole bunch of people and I want to pick a certain subject, it's going to be smart enough to select that subject and stay with that subject, even if that subject moves between other people or moves behind a pole, a bus, or something else. I just think that we're going to be able to get an autofocus system that works the way we expect it to. And not just, if we get an AI chip, not just AI capabilities, but also, or sorry, not just autofocus capabilities, but other capabilities too in terms of imaging, in terms of image processing. I think the idea of coming out with a dedicated AI chip could certainly be beneficial, but I kind of like Apple's approach. Instead of having a dedicated AI chip, why not have it as a core on the image processor, for example? To me, I think that makes an awful lot more sense. Instead of coming out with separate chips where you've got the delays between the chip and the other chip, you've actually now got it on system on a chip. You've got a separate cores like Apple has. How many neural cores in their M1 and M2 processors? To me, I think that's the proper way to go. But if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors, because we know this camera is going to be coming out next week on May the 23rd, we're going to expect more information coming out, full leak specifications, the actual price, photos of this camera. So if you want to stay up to date on all that, don't forget to subscribe and choose all notifications. And if you're interested in pre-ordering this camera, I've already got a pre-order, smart pre-order links right here. Why do I call them smart pre-order links? And sorry, I've got a light that's going right now. It's flashing on and off. It's only a 40 watt in the ceiling. It shouldn't make too much of a difference. But whenever you have that sort of strobe effect, I'm sure it's a little bit distracting. So I'm going to change that after this video. But going back to what I was saying about the smart pre-order links, why I call them smart is, normally when you get a pre-order link, you get a pre-order link for one camera and one package, one SKU, and that's it. Well, my smart pre-order links will list every single SKU. So if it's the camera itself, or if it's a kit package or multiple kit packages with different accessories, memory cards, you name it, like we see on B&H and Adorama at times, then what this will show you is everything that's available, so you don't have to go searching. It saves you, it can save you as much as 5 or 10 seconds, and you know how long it takes to get cameras these days, so go ahead and bookmark this link. I've also got it in the description down below, so that way you can be one of the first to pre-order the camera. Now, for all that minor news and rumors or pricing information, I usually tweet those out, so go ahead and follow me on Twitter for all that information that isn't quite big enough to have its own separate video. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day and a great weekend. We'll see you again soon.